Hello and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Machine Robo Mugenbine review for you today. This is Quest Knight. Now as you can see here, the robot that Quest Knight comes with is what they call a Turboroid instead of a Mugenroid. And the main difference is, there's a couple actually. One, he has wheels, where the Mugenroids did not. Also, as you can see, the head does not move. The head is stationary. I mean, it does swivel a little bit from side to side, but it does not bend forward like the Mugenroids do. Instead, they have these two plastic pieces with the pegs up here. Also, while they do move the same, they also have outward articulation. There's a little hinge there, so they can go out like that, which Mugenroids can't do. The legs are pretty much the same articulation. They just have slightly different pegs because of the wheels. And they have a hole in the center, which Mugenroids didn't have. Mugenroids had a hole in the back, but Turboroids have it in the front. And they've got 4 pegs on the back. So that's the main differences. Quest Knight is the first of what they call the 3 musketeers, being Quest Knight, Razor Ninja, and Save Gunman. And the 3 of them can merge together. Now Quest Knight has 3 different modes. He has a dragon mode. He has kind of a small car and base mode, and then he also has a larger robot mode, which a lot of the later ones tended to have. The first ones would just have the Mugenroid with like an animal form and a vehicle form, but the later ones would have like a vehicle, an animal, and then what I call like a super robot. So I'm going to move in a little bit closer here and show you the head sculpt on Quest Knight. You can see here, he does not have a letter on the side of his head like the Mugenroids do. Because he's got a much smaller head. But he's got kind of horns on the side, and I like the crest on his forehead, and I like the green eyes. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to zoom back out. Okay, so the first mode I'm going to show you is his dragon mode. You're going to start by taking the Turboroid and putting the arms straight up like this. Then you're going to fold him at the waist and then again at the knees. And these white pegs you're going to turn 180 degrees. So that he's going to look like this is the position you'll have him in. You're going to take this piece, which is going to be the tail of the dragon, and plug that into these 2 pegs. And then you can kind of bend it back a little bit. These 2 are kind of the big legs of the dragon, and you can see how they have 2 pegs like that. They're going to go into these 2 pegs, but since they're on an angle, it's going to make the dragon kind of hunch forward, which is kind of a nice feature, kind of like how Launchersaurus was. Oh, I'm sorry. These actually will stay pointing straight up. I did that wrong. Next, you have this midsection here. It's got 4 pegs on the, or 4 holes on the bottom, and that's going to go into these 4 white pegs right there. So you just snap that right on. Now this big dragon head piece has 2 hands on the side. You kind of fold them down and then fold the dragon head down. And then underneath here it's got a peg you can fold down. And that one peg is going to fit into this one hole right there on the top. Real easy. Pop it right on. So you can see the dragon mode is pretty much taking shape. Last, you're going to have these 2 big pieces here that you are going to, this hole is going to peg into the top one on the arm, and the same on the other side. So there you go. This is the dragon mode. These are kind of like the wings. He's got his little arms, and I really like the dragon head. The tail points up a little bit, which is kind of cool. I mean, this is the head for the larger super robot mode, which is kind of exposed, but it's on the back, so it's not that big a deal. All in all, I think it's a pretty awesome little dragon mode. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble him. Okay, so I've got him disassembled again, and now I'm going to show you the car and kind of base mode. Real easy, you're going to take the Mugenroid and just put his arms straight down and then turn him around because he's got wheels already built in. Although you are going to flip these 2 white pegs on the feet so that they are on the top. this little cab portion that has the super robot head on the back, these 4 holes are going to go into these 4 pegs. Snap it right on. Then you're going to take this part that was the dragon's tail, these 2 holes, these back 2 pegs. And that's pretty much it for the car mode. I guess this kind of looks like it could be a laser. So just kind of set that off to the side for a second. You're going to take the dragon mode and just put the head back so it's straight one piece, and then kind of point the hands up so it just looks like that. And you're going to fold in this peg that I showed you earlier. Fold that back in. You're going to take these 2 pieces that were the tiny legs on the front of the dragon, and you're going to put them kind of, just hold them together like this, and there's going to be 2 pegs on the top. Those 2 pegs are going to go into the 2 pegs on the bottom of the dragon head. So just very easily plug them right in. Now you're going to take these big pieces with the white side facing in, and they're just going to peg that hole, this peg on the fist, and just do that with the other side, and there you go. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit. So it really just kind of makes like an archway that he can pass under. It's not really a base mode, it's just kind of, I mean, like I said, there was no cartoon for Mugenbine, but there was kind of promotional commercial videos where they would show the toys, you know, animation of the toys interacting. And the video for the 3 Musketeers, this archway becomes like a portal, so that when he drives through it, it transports him to another area. So if you kind of think of it like that, I guess it's kind of a gateway. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, this rolls really nicely. This moves up and down. Like I said, it kind of looks like a laser gun on the front. So that's pretty much it for this mode. Not super exciting, but not a bad mode. I mean, if it was the only mode, I could see how you'd be disappointed, but the other 2 modes are really great. And now I'm going to disassemble them again to get ready to show you the super robot mode. Okay, so I have them disassembled again. What you're going to start with this time is you're going to point these straight down. Then you're going to take these parts that were the feet on the dragon mode, and they should have a hole on top. So with the silver part facing out, you're just going to plug them in to make new feet. So there you go. I'm going to try to scroll up a little bit and move him back because he's about to get real tall. Push the arms straight down at the sides. Now, when you take this dragon, as I said before, it does have this peg in the back, and you're going to fold that out, and that's eventually going to go into this peg in the center, and you're going to fold the dragon head down like that. And if you notice, these 2 dragon hands have little pegs on them. These pegs are actually going to go into the fist holes here. So when this is going to go into the peg in the center, and these 2 are going to go into the 2 fist holes. And what that really does is it really nicely hides the robot's smaller arms, while at the same time keeping it really tight together. It makes a really nice solid robot form. Then you're going to take this part with the big giant robot head, and you're going to peg, I'm trying to remember, I think you're just going to peg, really you could do either way. I mean, there's 2 pegs up here. If you really wanted, you could do the front set or the back set. I mean, the front set is going to put the head really close, so I usually do, or I should say the back set is going to put the head really close, but so I usually do the front set. I think the front set is what it says in the directions, most likely. That looks better, but you could do the other set if you really wanted to. Now, as you can see, holding these like this, you see that these are shoulder pads, and then where the pegs are down here are fists. So there's 2 holes right there. And you're just going to peg one onto each side, really simply. And there you go. The articulation, you can move these forward if you like. And the legs do move out a little bit, so can't get a ton of poses. I mean, you still can move it at the knees if you want, but mostly you're just going to stand them. Now this last part is a sword in this mode. So you just kind of pick one of these holes and plug it onto the fist. You could either do this one, or if you want, you could do this one, however you like to do it. And then he's got a sword. Now another thing I've found, and I kind of like, if you come around to the back, these two pegs up here. If you really don't want to use the sword, you can put it down like this and kind of store it in the back. If if you don't want to use the sword mode, you can just kind of store it in the back like that. That's kind of what I like to do when he's on my shelf, because I feel like the sword gets in the way. But yeah, I really like the Super Robot mode. I really love the Dragon mode. The car and the Archway mode, it's not terrible, but it's just a bonus. I mean, at this point, if it was just the Super Robot and the Dragon, I would be happy with just those two. So the car mode is just kind of like a little extra bonus. But I really like these. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Mugenbine line in general. And the Three Musketeers, all three of them are really cool. Plus, like I said, they do form, the three of them merge to form a larger robot, which I'll show you towards the end. So, I hope you've enjoyed this review of Mugenbine Quest Night. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.